Higher Density Living, welcome back. Our listeners that have been around for a long time and new folks coming in to join. Appreciate you guys giving it a rip here on the podcast. What's happening?
Lots of things.
All right, good. All right.
Lots of things we're going to talk about.
Lots of shit.
We're going to get into something really cool that I want to talk about that I talked to a friend of mine, and it was interesting. It's interesting when people get past the layers and actually like truly open up.
It's tough.
You know, and it's really tough to do. You were talking about that. I was listening to our podcast, the one we did like a couple months ago or whatever it was on there. Whenever we had the party here for Tartle, we did one, and there was just an audio one, so we released just audio today. But it's so interesting because you were talking about like opening up and emotions and what that looks like. And we were talking about for each of us. And there's this thing about why do we care about what others think?
I don't know.
And it's like you can call it worry, you could call it fear of rejection, you can call it the obsession with self. You know, all these things, and I want to get into those.
Okay.
But I wanted to start with evolution psychology because I think this is really interesting. It was important as a very survival instinct and also for social conditioning as a need to feel accepted and loved in the tribe. So now we've evolved.
Tribe mentality.
Our DNA is still the same.
Uh-huh.
We still have these same tribal. I don't think we're very much different in the way we're reacting, but if evolution takes millions of years and we've only had the internet since the 90s, do you see what I'm saying? The mental and emotional and the anxiety and the attachment and the struggle and the self-criticism and the sense of inadequacy. And this is what you talked about earlier.
I see it.
With the technology, but all of it is like this huge plume, if you want to use that word.
I see it. I'd say probably up until 85.
Mm-hmm.
We had a pretty big population. And it was easy to get lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
Be fucking weird. Not get tied up into crazy tribal nonsense of, needing to, I don't know, whatever, feel accepted. Think about it. People were like on the outs.
Mm-hmm.
Fringe metal groups,
Yes.
Punk rock, like all this fucking shit was starting to happen. And then with the advent of the internet, just even though we had 8 billion people on the planet, everything got really small again. And I think this tribal mentality of social groups exacerbated by algorithms caused people to worry now at a more pronounced level about what people think about them. Mm-hmm. Because now it's about a social, what I would say, accruing of social value. Mm-hmm. That happened through the online sphere. And with that, people are like, well, I don't want to destroy this social value because everything I do is online now. And if everyone can see it, I don't want to upset the tribe or have blowback from anybody. So what do you think is going to happen? Fear of rejection is going to increase. Worrying more about what other people think about you. And for you as a human being, you haven't really been honest with yourself. So you can't handle when people become honest with you because people are really good at critiquing other individuals.
Yes.
But self-critique's a difficult thing for a human.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So there's this massive avoidance, but also a mental collapse that would occur because people haven't built up their own internal support structures because they haven't really had truthful internal dialogue. Mm-hmm. They don't know who they are. And so when somebody else defines them in a public tribal social sphere online, that's more important. That's more truthful than how they would self-define themselves off of the internet. Mm-hmm. That's what I see.
No, I think it's really, I think it's really vital. I also think Rudolf Steiner talks about, he calls it spirit science or spiritual science, so I think, and we do that, we have a lens of both. But thousands of years ago, being a part of community, and I think the fear of rejection comes from this. Thousands of years ago, being a part of a community was vital to living.
Yeah.
If you were put into isolation,
not good. You're not going to live.
You're not going to live. Like the danger, not luxury. I'm not talking about luxury. I'm talking about food, shelter.
You need communal support.
Safety.
Basic necessities for survival.
You go out by yourself in a tribal environment and you get near another tribe and it's just you're gone. So I think our brains have evolved to this point so that the fear of rejection is that emotional same feeling of being thrown out of the tribe.
Well, what do they call it now?
See what I'm saying?
What happens if you say something online against like a woke community? What do they do?
Yeah.
You get canceled.
So I want to ask you something. Do you feel like the subconscious fears remain from these evolutionary imprints? Subconsciously, do you think those evolutionary imprints are coming into our subconscious?
No, subconscious it's not illogical. It can't be. It handles a bunch of automatic shit in your body.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If it was illogical, if your fucking heart stopped, you'd drop dead. You wouldn't know how to walk. What you're talking about is prefrontal cortex bullshit that people have drummed
The
up.
subconscious dreams, though, right? That's hugely illogical.
Why is it illogical?
Well, I mean, it may be, but I mean,
it's only feeding you information that you need to learn a lesson from. It wouldn't give you illogical lessons.
Why do you... So you think it's mainly like monkey mind, egoic stuff? Because
Absolutely.
the thoughts of why do they think of me? Did I say the right thing? Am I good enough? All those thoughts, they don't linger or just hang out. They multiply in people.
Absolutely. It's fuel.
It's like it feeds this cycle of worry that's going on. And
fear comes
I see
from
so many distress. Like a lot of gut issues are from people that have high anxiety. So interesting that combo's there.
Yeah. I got no bowel issues here.
We were just talking about that earlier.
We literally were. Now, for a human being, though, Jason, you think about stress and fear, like unnatural stress, synthetic stressors, that comes from a lack of understanding. Fear comes from a state of not understanding something. You can't fear what you understand. It's just what it is.
What's believing in something that's not real?
That's all incorrect.
It's the monster under the bed.
It's very easy to compound something that is incredibly unreal, and it's like it's almost like wolfing down sugar. It's not like a whole hearty meal. You know what I mean? It's not going to last. You get addicted to these cycles, and so for people, they get these fears of rejection. Why? Because genetically, it's being carried down by their parents. They're brought up that same way. The parents say, "Think about this: a picture is taken of a family. Has your mother ever said something? Oh, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I look in that photo."
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What do you think that does to the consciousness of the child?
Oh, of course, 100%.
So do you see how what is going on here perpetuates this egoic, fear-based, completely irrational mindset? No wonder people they jump right into these old habits that have persisted for so long. You know, and plus, if I don't have to worry about food and shelter anymore, the only thing I have to worry about is my identity.
Yeah, exactly.
But fuck you, you can't say shit about my identity because I identify as a cat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, that's the obsession. And I think that's where it comes in, this obsession with self, especially when it comes in relation to others.
Self-obsessed, they call it.
And I think it's hugely damaging. And it instead of fostering a healthy self-awareness, the opposite of this is what I've been thinking about this a lot.
Okay.
Instead of having self-awareness, you're having self-obsession.
Have you been self-obsessing over anything?
Oh, yeah. I do that all the time. I think we all do. We self-obsess over.
Give me an example.
Worrying about money, or worrying about time. Like, I need to hurry up and do this. I got to do this right now real fast. That's an obsessive.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what addiction is. It's just obsessive thoughts.
I've stopped myself from doing that. You want to know why?
I'm like, I got to get this done. I got to hurry.
Yeah,
All
dude.
right, fuck, it's already 11 o'clock.
I stopped. Sometimes I just remove the watch altogether.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I try to get myself away from it because you get caught up. Right?
But isn't it funny how obsession plays on the physical body, not just in exhaustion, because people can't sleep, their adrenal glands are going like crazy. And then when they have family, people that they actually, they don't understand love, but people that they think they love, like children, friends, colleagues, this heightened state of anxiety from this self-obsession, constantly you have to interpret everyone you talk to, you're relating it to yourself.
Exhausting.
So you're flipping it. Instead of being of service to others and putting them first, you're putting their reaction to you first. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. I was trying to break this down because this person was having this issue of like everywhere they go, they have high anxiety. They even call it like empaths, like this. I have lots of emotions towards people.
No.
So this is where I wanted to.
Again, what is it? I need to identify with something because I can't self-reconcile what's going on.
Yes, you're not a victim to this. That's what I'm trying.
Why are you a fucking victim? Like, figure it out.
And whether it's attachment struggles, resentment, or insecurity, when people become emotionally attached to others' opinions and validation, then, and you said this earlier, their self-worth becomes, but it's an external feedback loop.
Yeah. Their worth is then determined by people outside of them.
Yes.
So the second that external party defines you somewhere out of the bounds of value that you thought you were at, you fucking collapse.
The worst part too is most people don't criticize another person to their face.
No.
So a lot of the criticism that you get is either because that's what devastates people is the criticism, right? Yep. A lot of the criticism you get is by somebody telling you, like gossiping or whatever it is, or somebody telling you that they were criticized. But here's the crazy part. Criticism in and of itself creates an emotion, usually of hurt, anger, resentfulness, whatever. And this is really interesting because I've been studying this. Why does the criticism affect us so emotionally? Is it this fear of rejection? Like, why does the criticism? I know there's inadequacy and all that. Is it because of the external feedback loop?
No, it's because people aren't self-critical. They don't have truthful self-internal dialogue. So when a criticism comes from the outside, even if it's truthful, it's going to blow up to these people's internal mechanisms. Because the truth is always painful, all the time, constantly. It's like a punch. People don't like getting punched. They don't know how to work with the energy of punches. They're not like fucking, martial arts masters because they haven't had those internal dialogues. They don't have proper mechanisms for dealing with critique. It takes a long time to learn it.
So instead of having like self-aware techniques, they're instead just being reactive to these.
They're reactive rather than listening to it and say, okay, is there value in what is being said? Instead, it's just a blowback immediately. So
if somebody critiques me or I find somebody's like doesn't like me, I instantly in my head get ultra pissed and angry.
You do that. I've seen you do it.
Yeah. And it's this emotional reaction.
I'm trying to think of a critique I have for you. I don't.
Well,
I don't know.
I've been studying this.
If you put me on the spot right now and you said critique
towards
me,
you?
No, I don't know what critique I would have for you.
Oh yeah. I don't look at you that way. I don't want to have judgment on you.
No, that's my point. So I'm like, Jason's.
I don't want to have judgment on the people that I love. I don't want to have judgment on.
That's my point.
Like, I'm not going to look at Leah and be like, "Oh, you gained 10 pounds," or
no.
I hope she doesn't do that to me either. You know what I mean? Or are you lost? You're too skinny, or you're too fat, or whatever.
We do give them a lot of donuts.
Wrinkles.
We give them a lot of donuts.
Yeah, we're going to do that today. Yeah. Well, you have gained 10 pounds because you have a little one coming along.
That's exactly right.
That's the cool part. So I want to get into this because this is really, really, really cool. This creates a cycle where one sense of self becomes enmeshed with how others see them. It leads to an unhealthy attachment where the emotions of others dictate how we feel about ourselves.
What was that book? Remember we discussed it many years ago on attachment?
Yes, that was with Mello. He was like a father, wasn't he? Like a priest,
that's correct.
Priest,
but
mystic priest.
He fucking nailed it. Why?
He nailed it, yeah.
Because so much of the identity and the life force was in everything else other than the human being.
Well, don't you think that's all it is in evolutionary psychology? It's just your ego wanting to measure things.
Yeah.
It's an external measurement tool.
It's just measure.
Because when I began to get this, it helped me so much. So one, you don't know what a person's really thinking anyways. I mean, all the serial killers, everybody's like, oh, he's kind of weird, but he was nice.
You don't have a fucking clue.
Or he's sawing somebody's head off. Yeah. So you have no idea what people are thinking. Number two, and to even know, because how many times have you judged someone before you talk to them and then you start talking to them and they're like, this is a cool person. Like, you
ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm on that trail I told you about. I'm having a kind of like blah day.
Yeah.
Right? I walk by this dude. There's nobody else out there on the trail. And I tried to uplift myself by being kind to a stranger. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Completely ignored. No eye contact, nothing. So I turned around while I was walking and I said, what's your problem? Did you not hear what I just said? Why are you blatantly ignoring me? And he's looking at me like this, like, what the fuck? Like, why is this guy so mad at me? You know what I mean? And me, I'm just starting to like, I'm embroiled for a moment because I wanted to reach out and do like a good thing. Smack back my face.
Yeah, exactly.
So check this out. 2 weeks later, I go on the path. Same dude's there.
Well,
I walked right up to him. He saw me. He's like, fuck.
Right.
Walk right up to this guy. And I started to apologize for the way I acted because it was completely inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And I judged him right out of the gate. You know what the problem was? Spoke German only.
That's so hilarious.
Didn't have a fucking clue what I was saying when I was mad at him.
He just thought you were mad at him for no reason.
No.
Like he didn't do shit.
And guess what? Then I opened up and I said, I understand. Like I'm saying this in German. I said, you know, like if you get to see him, like walk him through it, like how you doing? You know, tell me about yourself. What's your name? You know, you come out, you know, Santa Fe, whatever. Friends, chill. Biggest fucking smile. Guy's great, hilarious sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah.
But this is my point. I was attached to an idea externally that I need to go out and treat someone better to fix this fucking rash emotional rage that I felt for a moment.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work. Yeah. And then I blew up further. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that all the time where the ego tricks the ego to be spiritual.
So I had to forgive myself.
Yeah, of course.
And then I went to him to apologize.
Right.
And guess what? Friendship came of it. Why? Because I found understanding. I judged too quickly, didn't understand who that human being was, and look what occurred from it. And then when I started to understand them, a connection was made.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's that's a core tenant story, you know, that I have here.
Yeah, it goes like perfectly with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So the ego's external validation. It becomes over concerned with status based off of evolution, all the things, appearance. I also think, you know, like for me, these are the two things: the external validation, one with the ego, and then number two, the ego is like a toxic grandma. It only wants you to have comfort, and it doesn't care if it's hurting you. Like my grandma was this. So amazing, absolutely beautiful woman, like everything great on my mom's side. But she had a thing with like, whatever you want, I'll get you. Tons of presents.
Oh, yeah.
Bowls of chocolate, M&Ms, Twix,
Jason,
Snickers.
let's be fucking real. That sounds good.
I know, it was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, she would, no lie. You would come to grandma's house. We were always excited to go. We would come to grandma's house. It would be 9, 10. She was a night owl. So it'd be like 9, 10, 11 at night. And back then, Krispy Kremes were open 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And they would do the hot light at night.
I love
bake
it.
the donuts at night.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be 11 o'clock at night. She'd go and get like 4 or 5 dozen.
Fuck yeah.
And she would just be like, Jason, you want another donut? Jason, you want another donut? I mean, she would give me like 8 donuts. Like, you know, and then she had all the cereals, the Captain Crunch, the Frankenberry or whatever.
Yeah.
All the sugary cereals. Then she would make like pastas. Like, she was so loving and caring and just amazing, you know, that way.
Did she ever
I was
ask
telling
you
my mom about this the other week.
How you feel though?
No, but that was her way to serve, you know. And she just thought the food pyramid was good, like
Sugar.
You know, just
Sugar's at the bottom.
A loving, unconscious grandma that just wanted to give.
Yeah.
That was her like love way she love bombed you, you know. It was just love language.
Love bombs.
Yeah, that's what they were. But I always think of her because it's like, I can't do this, grandma.
No.
I can't live this life. The life is so amazing because it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
She would always be like, you need another pillow? You want, you know.
Wild.
Yeah, they even had another room where we could hang out in with the TV. And this is back in the day where it was like a big deal to have like a 17 or 19-inch TV. Mm-hmm. So we had a 19-inch TV in this other room.
Rabbit ears.
She'd be like, you can have this room and go watch what you want to watch.
Cool.
Which was cool because it got rid of the kids, you know, whatever. But we just sit in there all day and eat and fucking watch TV. Yeah.
I used to watch.
And not give 2 fucks.
I'd walk into my grandfather's house, grandfather and grandmother. But the grandfather, he takes on the grandmother role a little bit that you're talking about. You grab 2 spoons, immediately go into the fridge, grab a tub of ice cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ego, bro.
Or I'd walk in, he'd have a glass cup, This is so fucked up. He'd put a bunch of Maine blueberries in it and then stack it with heavy cream and then give me a spoon.
Well, he was like trying to love you as like a way to love and give you something amazing.
Superb.
But I mean, that's how my ego treats me.
Yeah.
It wants to stay at home, watch Netflix all day, don't do shit, don't work, eat all the bad foods, order Uber Eats with fast food, like all I can imagine, drink a ton of beer, like it wants. So that's the ego. So it's that same toxic grandma or grandpa for you. It's the same one that is in your brain that's telling you get pissed off or get hurt because this person doesn't like you.
Yeah.
You know, so you should. So I think, like for me, and I want to get into just real quick, letting go of control.
That's a tough
because
one.
that's really what it is.
Well, what did I try and do in that situation with that German guy?
Mm-hmm.
I was flared up, and then I was like, I need to be in control now.
Yes.
So then I go and confront a fucking stranger, like a lunatic, out in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, Alex? You jackass.
Well, that's what it's. If you get to the spiritual root cause of it. Being hurt by people or worried about what other people think, it's a thing about you're trying to control everything.
That was it.
Yeah.
And when I was getting upset, it's about I need a structure and control to reduce what is making me upset. When it's like you're making yourself upset.
Yeah, and this whole idea of what others think and how we can control that is an illusion.
You can't.
You can't. Like you can't control what that guy thought of you.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
but now we both think highly of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
We like each other now. You know, we found some understanding.
So I want to create a real quick for the audience to know, because I don't like to just bring the subject up without having a spiritual healing way.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I think, which is really hard to do, and I have to work on this all the time, is self-acceptance. Truly accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all. The entrepreneurial industrial complex that's out there doesn't want you to have self-acceptance.
Jason,
you're never good enough.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, you need to work harder.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're not good enough.
Yeah.
No, we won't let you in the club.
Yeah, exactly. No. So you go work harder, and then maybe
you're too dumb.
Let you in. Yeah. That's what's out there.
And you know, if you were to like, go ahead, you ready for this? Let's just do a little role play. Just say some bullshit to me. Go ahead.
Oh, to you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're all fucked up. Like a piece of shit there, whatever. Yeah.
Why do you feel like that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm asking.
I mean, we could role play because you hurt my feelings.
Well, what did I do to hurt your feelings?
Yeah, but you're being really calm, so it's kind of dissipating.
Well, this is how
it's like I don't even want to like respond.
No, I know, but this is typically what happens though when people like snap at me like this.
Yeah.
This is how I respond.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why do you feel like that?
Yeah, but no, that works really well.
I know it works well.
Yeah, you use it all the time.
But my point is that what you're saying, I'm passing that negative baton back to you, and it's like, all right, well, tell me about this negative energy.
Well, I think you're being calm and compassionate.
Yeah, because I want to understand.
Well, that's why I love the Course in Miracles so much, that channel material, because the big thing is understanding forgiveness, and that forgiveness is nothing was done to you.
Yeah.
If you believe in oneness, then nothing, and that's so transformational, because it's like, oh, the thought that the ego is thinking that I'm hurt or angry because this person, well, they didn't do anything to me.
That's my point.
They really didn't do anything.
So like when you're saying something to me, like in that stupid role-playing scenario, that's why I'm asking you. I know it's damaging to yourself, so I want to hear what's damaged. What is it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because it's the mirror back. Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah. That's all it is.
But you not taking it personal.
I can't.
And asking the questions.
Well, I'm different because I don't let people define me anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not that I really ever have, but I just like.
But people have to understand everybody's working on different things.
Right.
You know, like somebody may have, like we all have different addictions. You know, we're all working on different things that, you know, some people have a gambling addiction, alcohol addiction, a sex addiction. Isn't it funny? It's just the comfort seeking from the ego and then the obsessive thoughts. This is what it is over and over.
I'm trying to think about what I'm addicted to.
Hard cook. That was a joke, guys. Just having fun. We can say mean things. We're comedians.
I don't give a shit. I'm trying to think about what I'm addicted to.
I'm trying. I have so many bad words in my mind right now.
Chill. No, give me a real thing. Are you addicted to anything right now?
I've gotten pretty good with. I think food. I have addiction with that I've been working on. I got rid of the tobacco, the alcohol. I don't.
How's that been for you?
Oh, I don't miss it at all. I mean, I smoke a cigar every once in a while, but I don't have an addiction to it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be dependent on something so much that I have to have it and I get an emotional or physical response like antsy or whatever. But I do think like if there's bad food around and I really like that food, it can be bad food and I don't like it. Like I don't like Cheetos.
Yeah.
So if you have a bag of Cheetos, I'm not going to eat it. But if you have a bag of like chili cheese corn chip, you know, I'm going to make like a taco salad and throw that in there.
Have you had the mean?
I'm going to think about it a lot.
Have you had the Mi Nina tortilla chips pico de gallo flavor?
No, that would probably
fucking nuts.
And I can't stop. Like
it's in the red bag, bro. I ate the whole thing.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Trouble.
Like I bought apple fritters the other day.
Oh my god, they're so good.
And I warmed them up in the microwave.
You're sick, fuck, dude.
Dude, I ate 2 yesterday because I bought 6 of them in a little container.
Well, you have to eat 2.
Yeah, so
that gives you 3 days worth of fritters.
But I mean, I have. Yeah, so I think about them. I'm like, ooh, let me go get a fritter
all the time.
Yeah, let me go get a fritter. I'm gonna make some coffee and eat a fritter.
There's like cake squares, like pedophores in the fucking what's it called, fridge. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that looks really good. 12 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, that Haagen-Dazs looking nice right now. You know, like, shoot, dude.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah, flaws and all, self-acceptance.
I know people like open up a fridge and look at beer. I'm like, that ice cream look good.
People take it too serious, and we're laughing about it. The minute that, and I think it's so funny when the minute that you can see yourself as the fool.
Yeah,
you know that's why I love tarot so much because I pull cards every day, and it's so funny. I pulled the Fool the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, thank you. I'm taking life too serious."
Yeah, that's been a nice little theme for you.
Yeah, it's like I needed the that carefree fool attitude in a good way. You know, like I mean that's why he's holding the flower, and he has the little dog by him, and he's by the cliff's edge, and he has the little backpack. Which the backpack helped me too because it's like because you know I'm moving closer to work. I'm just doing it so I can podcast every day. I'm using work as an excuse.
I'm leaving.
I just want to do that. I want to get back
to move closer to the office.
I love doing podcasts every day. That was my favorite thing.
Oh my gosh.
So, but it's so interesting. I looked at the little backpack and I was like, "Yep, I need to lighten up. I got too much shit."
Yeah.
And it was so funny. That same day, a friend said, "You know what? I was thinking about." I didn't even say anything to him. He said, I was thinking about and I went to this one place called Buffalo Exchange or in Albuquerque, and they gave me $90 cash for some of my old clothes. I was like, oh, there's the answer.
Perfect.
That's I'm going to take a bunch of shit and a bunch of shoes.
I'm going to stop giving them to Alexander.
Because I don't need
take them to Buffalo Exchange.
I mean, I don't think you.
I'm wearing the pants you gave me right now.
I know, yeah. I was like, throw it away, whatever. But I mean, some of the stuff I have, you wouldn't. It's not your style. You know what I mean? You have a different style.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to put you.
Unless you're critiquing me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, there is some self-judgment there. With judgment.
Do you know how much heat I get walking around with my shoes on?
Oh,
people look at my feet. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
I think it's cool. I like your style.
Just chilling.
I like that you're carefree.
Yeah, I'm just being myself.
Yeah, you're not worried about.
No, I'm not even worried about.
You're not worried about what you wear or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So finally, let's talk about connection to higher self. We've talked about a bunch of episodes on higher self. If you want to understand the higher self, we've done at least 3 or 4 of those.
100.
Yeah. So cultivating a relationship with your higher self, our spiritual core that is beyond ego and external validation. Yep. The higher self is beyond. The higher self has true peace, has true love, true acceptance. So practice such as meditation, journaling, connecting with nature, getting out and hiking, doing all those things, going for walks.
Journaling is very good practice. You don't have to be a meditator. You don't have to do any praying. Just journal. Just write.
Yeah.
Write your thoughts down.
You know what's weird is, because I interviewed that lady, that Mother Mary lady. So I was like, I'm going to pray to some feminine archetype, like whatever. I don't care what it is, but I want to like. It was interesting. It's really, really cool. It's bringing out a different side of me. I think it's helping me become more loving. Because I always had these masculine archetypes.
That's weird.
So praying is just talking to. Rudolf Steiner talks about it. It's like either you're talking to your higher self, or there may be like a collective conscious that hears it. And can give you an answer, because the higher self will not go against your free will. So you have to ask it. So what is asking? It's kind of like praying, or like the word pray means like petition.
Yeah,
that's what it means in the Greek.
You're speaking. Yeah, you're having a conversation.
But I like talking to my higher self. So it feels good.
Have you been speaking into like a feminine energy?
Yeah, I've been saying, like collective conscious feminine. I want to like speak specifically to a feminine energy, whether it's Mother Mary or whatever the lady. We did a whole podcast on that. You guys can look at that. But it's like. What's the Greek lady Dionysus? Dionysus.
Wait.
Yeah, no.
You're talking about that's
Sophia.
Wine. That's
Sophia.
wine.
Sophia is the kind of the big feminine energy.
Dionysus is wine, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what we need.
Fuck yeah.
I want some Dionysus God wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of so I've been speaking, and it's so interesting because it's bringing up this whole different aspect of loving others for me, which I don't think about usually.
Okay.
So I think it's a good thing because having that viewpoint of like, you know, I forget about that, Jason. Why don't they don't need your judgment? They need your love.
They don't need your judgment.
Leah doesn't need my judgment.
I was on the phone with my mother.
Ugh. Moms are hard for dudes.
They're tough, dude.
I'm not
tough.
saying anything with your mom. I'm just
They're
saying.
tough.
I'm saying because I just met my mom.
I got on the phone and I said, look,
Mom.
I said, look, I want you to show up to New Mexico. And then she got defensive, right?
Is she afraid to come here?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know, whatever.
Is there a plane? My
the
mom's
narrative is.
definitely afraid of being on planes.
I don't doubt that. But no, but the point is, I'm saying it out of a deep amount of love. Come experience all these new life events. Come see what life is like out here, what I do. I thought that it was like an invitation to learn about how I live. Because, you know, you haven't really seen how I've lived for years. And I thought, you know, as a parent, that would be a thing to do. But she took it as like me, you know, putting pressure on her, like, get out here, come do this right now. It's like, no, I'm just excited for you to experience these things I'm experiencing.
Yeah, it's also like how many people invite their mom somewhere. Usually it's like their mom's inviting them.
Yeah, dude.
And then, so it's like it's really cool that you would have that compassion towards her.
Yeah, and I said, it's only at 11. As I said, please don't misunderstand this. I'm just excited for you to be here.
Which we're going to do a whole, I'm not saying your mom is I'm saying the mom archetype in our society. Because I told you this, I have it in our episodes to do is the devouring mom that Carl Jung talks about. Yeah. Can't let the child go.
This feminine energy is making sense because when you walked in, I looked at your ass and I'm like, that's looking good. The high heels make sense now, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. I've been wearing them a lot.
You know, you walked in the office and I was like, what's going on?
Leah's like, why are you always steal my clothes?
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm getting in touch with my higher self.
I have a thong on right now.
I'm getting in touch with my higher self. All right? Very European.
Yeah, it's very European. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
How was so you were in Sweden, right?
Switzerland,
all those areas.
Yeah.
Like when you walk into a place, how does it smell? It's so funny because it's like, don't people have different like body
100%
standards?
Yeah, they do.
This is totally off topic. Why do people in Northern European countries have a different smell than Americans?
They totally do, especially
because everybody think that
especially like cold weather and you're walking into like
sweaters.
homes.
Is it? I think it's because maybe they don't wash their clothes as much and they wear them more frequently. Because I've seen like Sweden Netflix shows.
Yeah,
and the closets are really small.
Yeah,
and then like they'll have like a hole in their sweater or whatever. And it's like fairly, which is good. They're being more environmental.
You know, I'm Scandinavian. Are you picking on?
Because they're not into that fast fashion that's right now with like they can. You've heard about this, right? Zara and all these other places. It's like cheap fast fashion. They can get a product out, like they see it on the runway. So they see this product on the runway, right?
Okay.
Prada, whatever. Then they rip the design off, like cheap rip it, you know, like China or whatever. And then they turn around and they can make it and have it in like a Zara store, these different stores, these cheap, with cheap fabrics, all that. They can have that same design look, $20 in 2 weeks in a store.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But the products are so cheap that people is getting rid of more clothes. Like people are buying more clothes and then getting rid of it more.
Don't go in my closet.
Yeah. Well, I'm still in the closet, but that's a different story.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, people.
You keep talking to your higher self, Jason.
The feminine higher self?
I will meet you here with the greatest love and acceptance, however you want to define yourself.
Yeah, however.
Yeah. But
I feel like I'm more of like a turtle.
Do you feel like a turtle?
I mean, I like mentally I'm pretty quick.
Whatever type of animal.
But I'm like, like those old tortoises. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, I look at you as like slow moving bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched one the other day. It was not pretty.
Was it eating a moose's ass out?
No, I was eating in a cub.
Mm.
They're so cute. It did not like
free food.
They eat a lot of bears eat each other.
Yeah.
Like a mama bear will eat a cub.
Praying
the
mantises
cub gets injured.
Eat each other. Chickens eat each other. Bears,
Chickens are ruthless.
lions, they all eat each other.
You ever seen a chicken eat a mouse?
Dude, I got a video of it the other day.
They're wild.
It was nuts.
They'll slam on it.
And I'm like, am I
peck
going
at
to
it.
eat this egg? You know what I mean? Like, it's got mouse in
Yeah,
it.
somehow it processes it.
I don't know what's going on.
But I used to let them, they like little moles or voles or whatever too. But I would let them in the yard to eat bugs, all the time and stuff like that. And there was no fear of coyotes weren't that bad where I was at,
Yeah.
And they would always run into the chicken coop anyways if there was like something. You just have to worry about nighttime.
Nighttime's the worst.
The foxes, raccoons, and what was the other ones? Possums.
I got a
chickens,
5.5 foot West Texas coach whip.
Yeah.
Snake.
Oh, yeah.
It's like bright pink with like checker things on it. It hangs out in the coop. It's probably snatching eggs up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Weasels will do it. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
That we just eat the eggs.
Yeah.
Owls will eat I had an owl eat a baby chick.
Really?
So I had to put like a thing over the top.
Over the top?
Yeah, because hawks will do it too.
I don't have any.
But I
of those
saw an
things.
owl do it, like kind of evening time almost, but enough to where I could see.
I keep the crows around in the yard to keep the hawks away.
Yeah. Hawks will snatch a bird.
Absolutely.
I've never had them snatch a full size chicken, but they'll eat if you like I told you, buy the chicks and stick them underneath them, and they'll raise
At
the
night,
little
yeah,
chicks.
when they're brooding.
Yeah, and then they will raise the chicks and think that they're eggs hatched.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so funny because they have no sense of time.
It's a chicken.
Because you would think that they'd be like, well, my eggs can't hatch that quick.
Well, the chicken's got it right.
Yeah,
Who cares about time?
yeah. It's just like,
If you think about it for an animal, it's a useless concept.
yeah.
Again,
Like bears aren't walking around with
no, like at the beginning of this episode, we're addicted to measurement, right? Well, that's we're just measuring everything under the
their
sun.
dick sizes.
Honestly,
Yeah. I'd lose at that battle.
honestly, how many people looked at my thread? Oh yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would. I couldn't even start the battle.
Yeah.
I've already lost the battle before it even began.
The nation of Congo in the study wins
Wins.
over the whole world.
Congrats, gentlemen.
And South Korea, North Korea was the
Lost.
worst.
There was a
So
study.
we could go there and have competition.
Yeah, there was a study, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. There was a study for
the
this.
average Congo penis,
Yeah.
9.5 inches.
Get the hell out of
The
here.
average, bro. I always wanted to have like, I always wanted to build like in the Congo, a place for
What are you gonna say?
a resort that women can go to.
Oh my
And
god.
it's in the Congo, and it's only for women. So, like these rich elite women or whatever,
Yeah.
they can go to Jason's Island. It's in the Congo, and have these. But it would all be legal. Everything's like perfectly, and
Yeah, of course. Of
and
course.
it's like the Congo. Like the Congo will serve.
So fucking
It's gonna
twisted
give,
you thought about
the
this.
anaconda. Yeah,
This is like Epstein 2.0. It's really twisted.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's. I'm not working for the Mossad though, people. I want everybody to know that.
Yeah, this is 100% clear.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100% clear.
they haven't contacted me. Maybe
No.
I don't know.
I'm going to go with bear, though. That's your animal.
Yeah, I think you're more like. I have to think about it. Have you ever done one of those animal tests or whatever
No.
they have online for like, what's your spirit animal? I did it and it said I was a peacock.
If mine comes up as a duck, I'm going to be mad or something, you know?
Hawk is pretty good.
I do like that.
I mean, we were talking about hawks, but a hawk, I can kind of see you as like a hawk.
I do like that.
Yeah,
I like that energy.
Yeah. What else?
I don't
What's
know.
the type of animal?
Prawn?
Prawn?
Like a sea creature?
You'd be more like a kraken. We got to go. This
All
is
right,
horrible.
guys, we're out of here. Thanks.